It is there in Elgin, Illinois that my sense of place began to develop. My earliest memories are of living in a duplex when I was 5 years old. Under one roof fit three happy families. The first family were my godparents and their two kids, Beto and Jair. Next came my father and I, and lastly came my uncle Julian and his son Danny. Every day the men would leave to work together at the crack of dawn, leaving my poor godmother to fend for herself with three rambunctious toddlers and one baby. My godmother cooked, cleaned, fed, and bathed every one of us, with a baby on her hip and a smile on her face. We, the toddlers, had the hardest job, of course, defending the house alongside the Power Rangers against all enemies, foreign and domestic. We danced, played, and occasionally took a break from our hectic jobs to work on our small architectural hobby of building Legos. Weekdays were almost identical, but the weekend brought with it delicious food, traditional music, and more extended family. Saturday festivities included an early morning grocery trip to buy all the delicious ingredients needed for a Mexican feast. The men would go on the hunt for the perfect selection of meat and would ensure that its weight would rival that of our own as toddlers. Amigo, me das 30 libras de ranchera, por favor. Friend, can you give me 30 pounds of inner skirt steak, please? The toddlers also had a mission, one of dire importance, to locate and devour the sweetest treat in the store, the coveted sugar-coated churro with its warm, gooey vanilla center. After all the ingredients were gathered, the preparation began with my godmother making salsa verde, pico de gallo, and guacamole. She would wash and prep the sweet bulb onions, fresh cilantro, limes, and radishes. The meal of the day was going to be tacos, with all the trimmings. My father would make a concoction of spices and sauces, creating his family-famous marinade, and the meat would sit for several hours while we waited for the rest of the family to arrive. Beto, Danny, and myself would sit in the living room anxiously awaiting the arrival of our other cousins. Super Mario would help us pass the time, with each of us taking turns as the other one died. Jair, the baby, would hold the second disconnected controller, undoubtedly believing he was the best player in the world. Family would arrive, and after mandatory greetings were finished, all the cousins would run and play outside. Fierce cop and robber pursuits, extreme mountain bike riding down our driveway, and circus-worthy swing jumping competitions continued until the sound of meat sizzling on the grill reminded all of us how hungry we didn't know we were. The smell of marinated skirt steak on the grill and tortillas being cooked on the comal made all of us run inside. We would collectively wash our hands in the bathroom sink, making most of the inevitable dirt go everywhere but the drain, and the last one out had to clean it. Two plastic-covered tables were set, one for adults and one for the kids. Before us was the most delicious and colorful feast imaginable. Dark green and red salsas were placed in the center alongside brightly colored radishes, juicy limes, and the steaming tortilla holder. Meat was piled sky-high and distributed to everyone. Tacos were formed and drenched in salsa, and they seemed to disappear just as quickly as they were formed. This reunion centered around food and family is my childhood in a nutshell. This series of events form the basis of all family get-togethers. The ingredients vary, the party activities change as we get older, and even the location moves, but the premise of uniting remains the same. Families have moved away to different cities and states. The reunion no longer happens weekly and frankly, not often enough, but when we do unite, the same magic can still be felt. The love I have for my family and those parties from long ago made an impact on me and formed me into the man I am today. I will always choose family first because when you have a family as beautiful as mine, nothing is more important.